cancel culture is about canceling it.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records ain't sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. Not transform like this, perform like this, which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
We'll see who cancels who. They want you to comply.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you just fine. You sound great, actually.
Thank you. How are you doing? You sound great as well.
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I actually had a very funny past hour of I'm not sure if this is really online. So if you're not familiar with any part of this, feel free to be like, Lance, get help. But there's a right-wing mid-tier culture warrior type content producer called Smash JT, who basically makes like anti-woke video game content. You know the types, like the quartering
that
style
sounds
stuff.
Familiar. Yeah, that does sound familiar to me.
And he has been going after Alyssa Mercante for a very long time. And she eventually sued him because he wouldn't stop saying that, like, she sucks dick for money. Like, he's got, like, hundreds and hundreds of hours, of clips of him be like, she sucks cock for money. She loves to suck dick for money. She's a prostitute, like all this stuff. So she eventually sued him. That's the funny part of the story. Part of that lawsuit just revealed discovery of his leaked ChatGPT logs, who he apparently has been using as his legal counsel / creative team behind his own tweets, posts, videos, and etc. And he has been like for years apparently arguing with ChatGPT so much for it to be like, stop saying that like DEI is a myth and white people aren't oppressed. Like, I need you to tell the truth about the wokes. Like, and like now it's all been leaked for the public to laugh at. And that's what I spent the last hour doing, was laughing at it. It was like, the shit was so funny.
That sounds amazing.
I'm really happy the public has this. It's maybe a good video for you down the road because of like, it really goes to the core of the people who effectively are, I hate women in video games, or representation that features like, women in the writing staff, or gay characters or trans characters, or a black Jedi or stuff like that. Like, that's beyond the pale, that kind of stuff. All those types. He doesn't even really care enough about the shit that he spews to make his own content. Like, he was getting ChatGPT to make outrage videos and write them for him. Like, explain why the new like Indiana Jones is anti-woke, DEI, Sweet Baby Inc. And then like ChatGPT will be like, that makes no sense. I don't understand. And then he'll like, do a parody where it says that it's like anti-woke, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And then it spits out like all of his points and facts that he would put into his videos. Like, it's all there now for public record. They got exposed.
That is so embarrassing for him. How big is this person? Is he like 100K subs, 200K subs, or like how big are we talking? Like, you said mid-tier, so
yeah, 120, I think. Smash GT.
That's pretty big. That's pretty damn big.
131,000.
Okay. Wow, yeah, that's big. And he is not producing his own content. He's having an algorithm think for him.
Some of it. He I'm just looking at his website now, and there's so many videos on the quartering, which is also funny. If you haven't heard, the quartering got exposed this past week as well for his own scandal.
Oh no, I haven't heard this either.
Okay, Mike, I'm so curious.
I'm so excited, Lance. You said that like I have to tell you to seek help if it's too online for me. I'm eating this shit up. Okay.
All right, I'm so curious. For Jeremy Hambley, aka the quartering, do you think the scandal is A?
Oh, a test.
Something involving potential closeted bisexuality, pansexuality, or homosexuality? B, a possible partnership or cuckoldry involving a wife? C, the exposure online of him holding down another man's head in a sexual position as part of cuckoldry?
Well, that's a lot to consider. Okay. So I'm doing my gaydar scan and it's all coming up straight for me. So I have to go with the latter two options. I'm going to say that given the shit that he talks about, he's probably got some really out there kinks that the right would not be necessarily open to. So I'd have to go with the holding down the man's head. That would be my guess for cuckoldry. Is that correct?
Partially. The answer was all of the above.
Oh, whoa. Okay. I did not see that curveball. Well played, Lance.
There you have it, internet. Happy Thursday. Hope you're all doing well.
Wow. So
yeah.
First of all, I have to say I'm appalled at any homosexual men engaging in intercourse with this individual on any level. Shame on them.
Okay, so that one is tough because like that's why I'm like I put all three into the same category because it could be still straight, right? Like I agree with you, straight you know, the straight read off the charts, right? Like if I was to clock the quarter, like mostly straight guy, right? Like almost entirely straight. But the cuckoldry acts involve potential bisexual acts, right? Like if you are involved in sexual acts with the other man, I don't know at what point, I guess, do the straights draw the line is kind of, that's the thing I was thinking of. Jim, with this whole thing. Like, is it gay to like jerk off with another dude? And it's like, no, bro, fucking that's not gay at all. Fucking this heterosexual is fucking, you know, anything. It's like, okay, well then, is it gay to hold another man while he has sex with your wife? Is that gay? No, bro, that's just fucking party on, you know. Like, all right, well, is it gay if that other man brags online about how much fun it was to have his head held down by you as like you know, that kind of stuff? I don't know. It could be experimentation. You know, I agree with you. I think the straights are not all right, and I don't know if this 100%. I think the sex worker involved in the alleged scandal is bisexual or pansexual, or that's a part of the cuckoldry act itself. That I'm not totally sure. Yeah.
I will say the cuckoldry bit isn't necessarily surprising to me because there's already been so many conservatives who were pretty open actually about being cucks. I know that Sneeko was one of them, right? I think that's kind of what catapulted him into this whole reactionary politics. There's another one too. I can't remember who the other cuckold was. Was it Kanye? Kanye, right?
Was Kanye? Yeah. Well, that was the name of his last album. I think it was Kanye.
Really? God.
The one that has the titular Hitler song on it. Yeah, that I think.
Okay. I was not aware of that.
I don't know if that literally. I mean, Diddy was both a cuckold and someone who engaged in a variety of different activities.
I have to assume that they're all cuckolds because they are the ones that really popularized that term, and so every accusation is a confession, right? You know, that's kind of how you base your estimate as to what they are into. So
I totally agree. And I mean, like he does use the term as a pejorative all the time, right? He's always like, that person's cucked, he's a soy cuck, he sits in the cuck chair, he wears the cuck cage, that kind of stuff. So
wow.
I think that this was probably An inevitability. I think, like, if you don't know the story, the only funny thing about the quartering scandal is that I don't think anyone on the left would have known about it because it's Chud on Chud violence. It was like this Chud channel that did a whole special on the quartering having a quote bull, and they found out about the bull. Who is actually a legal sex worker who may have committed crimes as well, and they had receipts from the bull and the bull having posted online about, like, you know, enjoying the pleasure of the quartering, holding his head and things like that. And so they made a live stream where they posted the receipts, and then the quartering went to war and took the live stream down, and that's how everyone else found out about it, like myself. All of a sudden, one. Exactly, right. Then Streisand effect. All of a sudden I'm like, wait, why did the stream get taken down? Apparently he was like going to war, calling up like someone who works for Kiwi Farms or something, telling him like, you know, like I don't want anything to be leaked. They've gone too far. They're coming after my family. This is off bounds. You know, like everything's fair game, but you can't go after the wife. You know, all these kind of things. So yeah, that's how the world found out, and it's apparently hit his channel really badly too, because that's the one thing you can't be on the right is you can't be a cuck. You can't be a cuckold or be involved in cuckoldry or like have any man hold power over like your partner or your wife is like, that's like,
it's emasculating. Their whole thing is like, you know, hyper masculine. We're the alphas, and that doesn't surprise me. I would have suspected. I mean, cuckoldry not surprising, as I was saying about the quartering, but I don't know. I guess that if I had to guess, I would have thought something else, like in the from Matt Walsh. We don't know what that is. There's the whole diaper baby in the background, right? So
yeah, and the licking of the condoms. I think he's a sadomasochist.
Wait, licking of the condoms? I don't even know about this one.
Oh, so like all the shock jock shit he was doing back in the day. One of them is he films one of like the interns near a dumpster, and they see a used condom, and then he makes him lick the inside of the dumpster beside the used condom on camera. Yeah, well, like you can hear Matt Walsh audibly in the video being like, "Oh, hey, that's so well, bro, gay, bro," you know, all that kind of shit, right? Like like Jackass.
So he was getting his raw fox, or his did I say that right? His rocks off. Yeah,
rocks. Rocks, yes, rocks off.
He was getting hard to that. Disgusting. Like Matt Walsh, I don't even want to know what his search history looks like. He has got the craziest fucking kinks that would shock everyone, even the no kink shame crowd, which I'm part of that crowd. I would have to be like, whoa, I'm gonna have to revise my position because this is too much.
Pushing the limits of kink shaming to its extremes.
Yeah, I mean, the Brian Gnome one almost broke me. I actually crossed the line, probably, arguably, but like it's just hard not to pounce.
The bimbofication stuff. I mean, I saw your video on that. You were calling out the rank hypocrisy of it all more than anything. It wasn't at all that, like, you know, anyone should feel ashamed for cross-dressing. Right. Exploring bimbofication, which that was a fetish I didn't even know about. I knew about expansion and porn, but I didn't know specifically the bimbofication, like that genre, right, was like a hyper specific niche. But yeah, it's the fact that Gnome and him are like, you know, anti-LGBTQ plus bigots who say that like drag queens are a danger to kids. Like, meanwhile, you're just like, you know, the fucking what is it? Pay me more, slop daddy, as I slurp my fucking whatever loon juice he was saying to the. I can't remember what the recordings were, but it was wild. How the fuck does someone get? I'm just okay. So between that and who's the other piece of shit, Swalwell. All these people, I'm astonished that they have skeletons like that in their closets. And they still have the confidence to get out there and do these shows or these programs or like run in politics or like become was there no background? Was there not a single, like, this seems like a very easy, we did a light background check on you. Some stuff came up. There's a couple women who have accusations. What do you say? Is this stuff that we can get past? Should we admit to it now? That kind of stuff. Like, instead, just straight up like, so confident.
I think they think that they're never going to get caught, or they just don't think that they did anything wrong. Like with Swalwell, maybe he genuinely believes that what he did was not criminal, which is crazy because, like, if you have a big secret like that hanging over your head, it really affects every single thing that you do. I mean, like my being in the closet is not comparable to what they did. Those are criminals, obviously, but like I would think about everything. Like, should I go bowling because, like, what if I throw the ball too gay? Or roll the ball together, you know what I mean? Like things like that. Like it's over your head, and so like the fact that they're just like so confident, and his wife is, Brian Noem's wife is just going out there, signing these laws, banning gender affirming care. You would think that they would want to be less conspicuous, but they don't, I guess they don't think about these things. They're not smart enough to consider that. And they probably just don't think they're ever going to get caught. It's crazy to me because Brian Noem's not a criminal, but Eric Swalwell, I'm glad that he resigned, but he should be in fucking prison for the allegations that came out. I think that needs to be a priority for Democrats and Republicans, to be fair. Anyone who commits crimes like this, it's time to start locking them in jail, because very clearly, the Me Too movement was great in that it gave a lot of people the confidence to come out and share their stories. But there were just a couple of individuals who were held accountable out of that, Harvey Weinstein and whatnot. You had Louis C.K. canceled, but he still has a career. But we need to start putting these people in jail.
Bill Cosby got out of jail.
Right, yeah.
Louis C.K. won a Grammy afterwards. He's fine. Yeah. You're right. I think Harvey Weinstein is the only extreme example. And even in that case, Candace Owens is trying to get him freed right now. I don't think he will be, but I think there's still an effort or at least a pushback of people being Me Too went too far or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going through pedo Me Too, right? Where it's these pedophiles and pedophile adjacent or pedophile protectors coming forward. And that's just happening every single day. America's not doing
no rest. no, we have straight up pedophile culture in this country, and I guess we're all just fine with that. We're just going on about our business while the pedophiles continue to run the government. It's really crazy to me, but I'm not surprised because it's America. But still, I wish that we all had higher standards.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I figured before people arrive today, I don't know if there's been any revelations, but Ashley St. Clair was apparently going to drop huge receipts on Benny Johnson. She just hasn't done it yet, I think, unless there has been the drop yet. But she stated that she had very, very big revelations to share with the world.
I have your video on Twitter that you shared, and I am anxiously awaiting this, but at the same time, it's kind of we already got spoilers. Still, right. I'm excited.
Yeah.
If she comes out and she's like, Benny Johnson is gay, it's
yeah,
we know, but
yeah,
tell us more.
No. You need something new. You need a new receipt to make this worth the amount of hype you're trying to build behind this release.
Right. Because we need to actually see pictures or chat logs to get me excited, I think. So she has to deliver. But this is the video in question where she teases it.
This is a message for Benny Johnson. Since I came forward about my experience with that predator, Madison Cawthorn, I had mentioned in my video that Benny Johnson, I had disclosed to him that I had experienced this behavior with Madison Cawthorn. And that
the Madison Cawthorn thing, I don't actually. I think I would assume she's referring to the original Madison Cawthorn expose, right? Unless there's something new with regard to Madison Cawthorn. Which is weird because he exposed members of Congress saying that they were offering him, or inviting him to cocaine parties and whatnot, and then he got exposed. So they all are accusing each other of these things, and I think that there's truth to all of it, but then they also have skeletons in their closet, and I think that they believe by exposing other people, it'll make them less suspicious. But I think at this point, we just have to assume that every single conservative, at a minimum, is a little bit of a sexual deviant, and that's being really charitable.
Yeah.
to platform this awful human being. However, I'm not a consumer of Benny Johnson content because I value my IQ and I'm not one of his cerebral speed bump boomer followers. Unfortunately, I've watched his content in the last 24 hours because it's been sent to me. And before yesterday, I was unaware of the content that Benny Johnson had been putting out about me on his show, including about my family and my children, and that I should lose my child, that I am not a sane parent, that I am a narcissist, making up lies about my finances and my family situation. So, Benny, I have been sitting on the receipts of you for far too long. You and your sociopathic behavior and the way you operate your businesses and your grift. So you want to go, Benny? You want to talk about my children and make this personal? Let's go. Because I have been sitting on this for far too long. And guess what? A lot of people have been sitting on things about you for far too long. And I will remind you that if you live in a glass house, stop throwing stones for your little Facebook dollars. TTFN, you're next.
Okay, I've got to give her a 10 out of 10 for the delivery and the performance. I want to get excited for this, but I'm not, because I feel like she's just going to say he's gay.
Right.
But
without any nuances kind of thing. Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I'm with you. I don't know if there's going to be anything that extreme.
Right.
There's some rumors that people have suggested that he is married to a beard, as in his wife is aware of the relationship and they have an arrangement kind of idea. She might be able to provide information proving that. Yeah.
Did you see his wife's tweets about him?
The old ones, I maybe should pull them up if it's the one I'm thinking of. I saw him. It's like I was looking at the one he posted today about him proving that he's straight. He's like, I am duty bound to protect my family's honor, and and he still hasn't responded. That's like going on 2 months that he said he's duty bound to prove his heterosexuality. And I was wondering how. I was like, what is the pledge one must make? I love missionary position and 4% IPAs, and I hated 9/11.
What was that test that they used to do on gay people? Or maybe it was like a study, I don't remember, where they like basically monitored their arousal and they made them watch like gay porn.
And they electrocuted them? Wasn't it like a torture study?
Oh, was it? I can't remember, because there's been multiple studies. Some of them were torturous, but
okay.
Maybe there's a way to gauge his heterosexuality, alleged heterosexuality scientifically.
Like you're saying, like the Kinsey scale, but instead of volunteer information, they were kind of clockworks oranging people, or just maybe not forcing them to watch, but just being like, does this arouse you? It's up to the
right, like gauging, like going through different types of orientations and seeing what gets the most like response physiologically. The heart racing, the dick popping. So in terms of his wife, so she went on a tweet spree, which this was the worst idea ever. So she basically was insisting that her husband was not gay. What is this? Oh, an ad. So
I love how they always use the gayest photos of him too. You can't take a straight picture of that man.
He can't. I mean, even the pictures with his wife, he looks like a GBF. Like, so okay. There was this one. Oh my god, there's so much ads on this website. I'm sorry, I need to get an ad blocker that works. Okay, so they shared this picture about date night, right? And so this person chimes in saying, somehow I'm not surprised date night pics are rare. And then they shared the screenshot of Saeed Jones, former BuzzFeed coworker.
Seen it. All right. Okay, we'll read that out. Yeah, read that out to people.
That's the thing that's crazy, is now she's acknowledging that at a minimum, people suspect that, her husband is homosexual. And she says, having 4 kids, 5 and younger, makes it difficult to have out of the house date nights. Hope that helps. So she officially has seen this. Okay. Which, I mean, you could not waterboard this shit out of me if I was in her position. But she responds to more pics where, she posts this, and again, very like,
wow, what is that photo?
Yeah, it's giving very beard vibes. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, right? My biggest flex in life is being married to him. Happy Valentine's Day. You are the best of men. Somebody says, being a beard isn't exactly a great flex, which is just so ruthless.
And she saw that too.
She saw that too and said, what is it like being a moron? So I know for a fact, I cannot prove this, but I know for a fact she at least Googled what a beard is.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, she knows. She knows.
So, okay, I don't know if that was it.
That's so funny.
Like, if I'm remembering correctly, there was something else that she responded to, but like, long story short, she acknowledged these accusations, which I think is the worst idea imaginable. One, because as you saw, there was like, there's an article about it that was one of many, and people are talking about it. So I don't know. I am anxiously awaiting Ashley St. Clair's revelations, though. She's got to deliver because Syed Jones had the best tea.
I completely agree. And I'm also awaiting his proof that he is in fact heterosexual. He is duty bound. He is honor and duty bound, apparently, to provide it, and still has not. So
it's interesting, though, right, that he hasn't sued Milo Yiannopoulos, because discovery would just prove how straight he is, I'm sure.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, he definitely have. There's ways to prove, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. Oh, somebody's asking what a beard is. A beard is the wife of a gay man. Basically, she's the beard to make it appear as though he's straight, when in actuality, he is gay, and she's just acting as like,
well, I should also add in gay history, it's also not just women who were in loveless marriages by accident. There's also relationships that were formed when it was like obviously not only a taboo but illegal to be homosexual in society. Relationships where women sometimes would marry men full well knowing that they were gay, and this was a way for them to both survive. Sometimes lesbians would marry gay men and they would act as their parents for each other. That kind of stuff was capable of happening.
Is that called lavender marriages, when a gay man and a lesbian marry each other? So. I can't remember correctly, but
lavender marriage.
Yeah, I'm outdated on my lingo. I think it's lavender marriage.
A male to female mixed orientation marriage undertaken as a marriage of convenience to conceal socially stigmatized sexual orientation of one or both partners. Well done. Correct.
Okay. I'm glad I remembered that. You don't see those too often these days unless it's on the right.
It's true. By our gay powers combined. Exactly. Yeah. It's actually, it's kind of cute. In a horrifying repression way.
Yeah, it's like it's a gay marriage. Technically.
Yeah, it's technically a gay marriage. The first gay marriage. It's the original. Yeah, the OG gay marriage was lavender marriage.
True. So I wanted to share. Okay, this is a weird topic, and we'll get to the substantive stuff in a second, everybody. But I wanted to get some silly stuff in the agenda before it gets too dark. But so there was another story about RFK Jr. I'm pulling up the video from TMZ, and I don't know where this came out. There's either in a book or some shit, but long story short, he chopped off the dick of a raccoon. And
that's why everyone's talking about. I thought people were just being silly on the internet today because I saw okay, that's what it's about. I'm caught up.
He said that he wanted to study it, right? And this is in addition to the bear cub body. There was something else that he put on
the whale carcass.
It was a whale, right? That's the one that he strapped on the car.
He strapped it to a car, and the whale juice was like going into his children's mouths. So they had to put bags on the side windows or something to collect the whale juice.
Well, people have questions about the raccoon penis. Kyle Kalinske tweeted, "Did he suck it off?" TMZ caught up with him and asked him a question about the raccoon penis.
This is real life. Oh my god!
This is American politics in 2026.
This is the health secretary.
I love that TMZ is doing this. Exclusive: Robert F. Kennedy Jr. mum on being the Bobbit of roadkill.
The Bobbit of roadkill. Oh my god.
Secretary, what did you do with the raccoon's dead penis? Where is it now?
Just another day.
The sentence, Secretary, what did you do with the dead raccoon's penis? It's just, that's a banger.
And what's great is that was not a random sentence to him that he didn't understand. He processed it, understood the assignment, and then laughed a little bit. I was like, all right.
Right. I genuinely do want to know, because he keeps doing this. He very clearly has a history of taking animal carcasses, and this is not normal behavior by any stretch of the imagination. There's something seriously wrong with this man.
That's not a regional thing. It's not a like.
Believe it or not,
where's he from originally? Jersey? Is that a Jersey thing?
I mean, I've never heard of this. If it is a Jersey thing, maybe people from Jersey can chime in the chat because you're kind of under attack right now. So
yeah, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna have so many people be like, "Wait, what the fuck? He's not from Jersey. That's not a Jersey thing. We don't collect whales." All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird. This is honestly serial killer shit. I guess they torture live animals, but still, like this fascination with carcasses is so.
He was born in
creepy.
DC. He's from Washington D.C. He was born to be in politics.
Yeah. He's by the way, in addition to all of the animal carcass stuff, he's in the Epstein files. He flew on the Epstein jet, volunteered that information on Fox News.
Mm-hmm. He also went on dinosaur bone hunting expeditions with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell after he was a convicted pedophile. After the fact.
God.
Yeah. So, he's well over the Epstein files. It's not great. Did you, Mike, if you haven't seen it, show the clip of him getting roasted today. Did you watch the one where someone's holding up a sign of one of his own quotes about black children being like addicted to Adderall and shit, and they should be separated from their families and thrown in like white farms? And
Yeah,
stuff
I'll
like
pull that up.
Oh man, it's so good. I was just like, not only is it wild that he said that, he doesn't, it's like, it's so fucked up that he doesn't believe his own quote. He's like, I never said that. And they're like, no, you very clearly did. Like, this is like, and he's like, I don't know what that means. And then the woman's like, no one knows what it means. It's like neo-phrenology.
I don't remember. It was one of the it was Linda Sanchez who was questioning him, and I just love the quote from her. I'm gonna read it real quick. You're spending taxpayer dollars to drink milk shirtless in a hot tub with Kid Rock. Somehow you think that's a better public health message than informing the public about the benefits of vaccines. Really?
Oh man, that's good.
It's so weird. Okay, let me see if I could find that particular moment because it was.
He said autistic people won't pay taxes. Yeah, he said so many wild things. He thinks microplastics cause trans people. He thinks COVID was bioengineered to spare Ashkenazi Jews specifically. Like it's stuff the likes of which you wouldn't expect. Like he's basically Alex Jones in a position of extreme authority.
Right?
Entrenched within the medical system of the United States.
It's truly, it's not just embarrassing. It's so horrifying. But this is that particular moment.
Mr. Secretary, you've made a number of outlandish and frankly disturbing comments both before and during your tenure as Secretary of Health and Human Services. I want to draw your attention to one of those times. In a 2024 podcast interview, you suggested that Black children on ADHD medication should be reparented. You said
the slow pan is incredible. I just
yeah.
That quote is insane.
We have to I just want to pause to read that. That is fucking crazy. Every Black kid is now just standard put on Adderall, SSRIs, benzos, which are known to induce violence. This is so insane and racist. And those kids are going to have a chance to go to somewhere and get reparented. The fact that he said this in 2024, like you would read this and think, man, this is like some fucking like Jim Crow era politician shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and because he says that he never said that and it's fake, I looked it up and it's 100% real. In context, it's worse. In context,
oh my God,
he's saying that Black kids should be put onto like white farms so that like the natural life of like farm servitude can help clear them of their potential like addictions to subscription drugs. To like let's be clear, like some of the stuff that is being prescribed, like SSRIs, that could be for very severe depression, right? Or someone who has like a very severe ADHD where they're unable to actually process information without the use of Adderall. Like you can't just discount that that's being given to induce violence. Like that's where like, oh man, he's just going, he's like fucking, he's in the skull measuring territory right now.
Yeah, he's out there. I'm wondering, do you know, did he say this when he also said the thing about sending people on SSRIs to forced labor camps, essentially? Because he was saying that if you send them to farms and you make them do manual labor, that is going to help their mental well-being. I don't remember the exact quote, but essentially, like, the takeaway was that we should send people on SSRIs, people with mental health issues, to labor camps. And so it sounds similar what you're describing to what he said there. I don't know if he said this multiple times or
this is where we're at. He might not be saying it in those terms, not using that direct verbatim language, but that's exactly what he's suggesting here. And in this one, he wants them to be racially segregated. He wants black kids with depression, mental health issues to be taken from their families, put into farms, and be forced to do manual labor to cure them of their disease. Like, that's wild, you know? Like,
that's fucking insane.
Straight out of the eugenics movement, like straight up, right out of the eugenics movement shit. And he's the Health and Human Secretary. Oh my god.
Oh my god. And he denies this. That's not surprising. All right, I'll play the rest of this. This is wild.
Reduce violence, and that those children are going to have to go somewhere to get reparented. There is a lot to unpack in that comment. I know that you've already answered several of the questions I was going to ask, and so I'm just going to rephrase them. Mr. Secretary, you've already admitted that you are not board certified physician, and you've already admitted that you did not go to medical school. Have you ever reparented, or parented, I should say, a black child?
I don't even know what that phrase means, and I doubt that.
No answer.
I doubt that I said that phrase. No,
Absolutely.
I'm not going to answer something that I didn't say.
You absolutely said it.
Oh, I'd like to hear the rest.
Oh my god.
It's such a fair question, too.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
By the way,
so to be clear, you're not a doctor, you have no medical degree, and you have no formal medical training. You have never parented a black child.
24 of the 26 HHS secretaries have not had medical degrees.
It's as loud as we can make it, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's really soft.
I reclaim my time. So you are not a doctor, have no formal medical training, and you've never parented a black child, and yet you are suggesting that the federal government should take black children away from their families and reparent them and send them off to some wellness farm instead of providing them with evidence-based.
You're just making stuff up.
I am absolutely not making this up.
Oh my god.
Mr. Secretary, in your opinion, what factors should the federal government consider when reparenting a black child who has been on ADHD or ADD?
I don't even know what you're talking about, Congressman. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what reparenting even means.
I don't either, but you said that.
I did not say
Mr. Secretary.
Wow. I mean, imagine if a black politician said that about white kids, right? Like,
it would be a perpetual fucking cycle. You'd never hear the end of it. Just over, replay.
It's white genocide.
Yeah.
But he says that, and no, I didn't say that actually. It's crazy that he would deny that because, like, these boomer ass politicians, they know how to use the internet. They know that the internet is permanent. Anything you say on the internet, it's going to be there forever. And I guess that he said something so absurd that even he doesn't believe he said it. I think he's just probably lying if I had to guess.
Yeah. That, or like, this is why I hate AI so much, is that, like, it's gotten us to a point now where he can say that, and for a little while people can be like, oh wait, was it fake? Was it real? Did he actually say that? I think they probably, like, I think it's good to have that just as a prop, because it just looks obscenely ridiculous to see your own words, like, put before you like that. But I think they should have had the clip on hand too, just to be able to drop it, because then it's undeniable.
Yeah, he can't run away from it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you see a clip from his dumbass podcast that he launched? First of all, I love that everybody was saying, bold choice to use an audio format with that fucking voice. But there was a clip that the one of the Krasenstein brothers had shared of his podcast.
No, I haven't heard it.
So it was just really quick. It was RFK Jr. talking to some white dude, and the dude he was talking to, the caption from Brian Krasenstein was, he says that we need to explore alternative things and push this and that and dog meat. And then and then the caption was, and RFK Jr. says nothing when he brings up dog meat. And then I listened to it, and he did not say dog meat. He said dark meat. But it's fucking hilarious that like you'd be listening to that and you wouldn't think twice. Oh yeah, dog. Of course he would talk about dog meat because he was accused of eating a dog. So
yeah, it turned out to be a goat.
Oh, it was a goat. Okay.
Yeah, him and Cheryl Hines are like in front of a barbecue, and it's like a fully barbecued goat, but it looks like a dog carcass or something. It looks disgusting.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I just don't know what to do with these people aside from throw them into permanent re-education camps. It's just exhausting. it's so exhausting.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, just a complete imbecile and a total embarrassment. I wanted to bring up or maybe we should save this from Mike when he gets here, because I wanted to talk about the vote on the War Powers resolution. Maybe we'll save that for when Mike gets here. But we should probably also address the current situation. I know some of you already know Matt hasn't made like a statement about this publicly yet, but Sam on Majority Report said that Matt's father unfortunately did pass away earlier this week. We have not talked to Binder since that happened. We talked to him before it happened, and a lot of people are asking like what they can do to help Matt. He isn't necessarily said, but I would highly, highly encourage you to send super chats his way. We're streaming on his channel, so you can do that. And also, if you really want to support him, go to patreon.com/MattBinder. We don't know the particular situation. We don't know if there's going to be funeral expenses or medical expenses. I can tell you, aside from this, Matt is going through a hell of a time. Just life has been a motherfucker to Matt. Just things out of his family's control. So he could really use that support right now if you're able to. So yeah, I'd say if you want to really help, just go to patreon.com/MattBinder if you're able to, because that's the only thing I could think of. I think right now he probably just needs some time, because that is really difficult to process. I mean, a lot of you probably remember Alan, Matt's daddy, was in the chat every single week. Just the kindest soul. So really, really, we feel for Matt right now, and we love Matt. So I can't think of anything else that would be helpful right now. So yeah, if you can support him, that would be really appreciative. He won't be able to read the super chats. I'll read them later that you send to him. Don't send to me. Send them to Matt Bender tonight. I'll read all of the super chats.
And
even if
send all of them to Matt Bender. And you know what? Maybe say that they were intended for David Dole to make it extra sweet. Just so Matt knows
there you go.
that you were accidentally donating to him instead of David Dole, so he can have a little extra joy with each donation.
He would really appreciate that. For sure. Yeah, definitely.
But genuinely, everything that Mike said is really true. Go if you have $1 to spare, go to his Patreon, help him out. It would mean a lot.
Yeah. This is not easy. Like, I lost my dad in 2020, and it was terrible. The difference is that I had years to prepare. My dad was sick for a really long time. This was really sudden. So, there's no easy way or more difficult way. Death is death. It's just really difficult to process. So, I know Binder is probably just, I can't imagine how he's feeling right now. So yeah, just any way that you can, he's probably not thinking about like support or the next step. He's just, he's needing some time. But yeah, I would say go support him on Patreon if you can. That would be a really generous thing to do. If you can't, you can't. But if you can, that would be wonderful. But I wanted to also, so I wanted to talk about, I know you talked about this yourself, Lance, but I had to talk about the Dave Chappelle, like, pseudo mea culpa.
Yeah.
That really pissed me off. I mean, in a way, it's like, I kind of feel smug because I'm thinking we all told you so, but I do not buy his excuse. I don't know if you feel the same way. I think that he knows what he was doing. And we'll get to what he said specifically, but I think that Dave Chappelle is playing stupid because he doesn't want to admit there's this cognitive dissonance that you can sense that he is not able to fight through. He was explicitly transphobic, and he courted an audience knowingly so. And then when he really saw the people that he made a bed with, he thought, "Oh, this is gross. I don't want to be associated with these people, with Lauren Boebert, with these fucking freaks who obsess over trans people's genitalia." But I mean, like, if you go back to his specials, it was explicit transphobia, and it wasn't clever. It was the laziest hack transphobia imaginable. The same shit that the same jokes conservatives have been making for years. It's the, "Oh, well, can I identify as Chinese?" Like, he actually fucking said this. And in the second special, I believe, he tried to like use his former trans friend as like a shield when the situation that he shared was extremely fucked up. I don't remember the specifics, but like he outed himself. And aside from that, he exposed himself as a fucking NIMBY as well to his city council, talking about not wanting affordable housing, threatening to yank his funding.
Like, can't be more explicit than that, right? I'm Team Turf. I'm
Team Turf. Yeah, I mean, there's just he has no plausible deniability. So I think that he is completely full of shit. He knows what he's doing. So I'll play I think this is the actual, bring it in, the clip from the NPR interview. He also commented on the Riyadh Comedy Festival, and again, super duper disingenuous. I think that Dave Chappelle knows better. Also, Bill Burr knows better. Some comedians, I think that they're high on their own supply and they're stupid. Dave Chappelle is not a stupid person. Dave Chappelle knows exactly what he's doing. So I'll play the clip from the NPR interview where he said that he didn't like that Republicans started to like him because he was transphobic.
But what about people who feel like you're punching down? Like you are not a trans person. And there are people who feel like it's different when you are part of the group that has been attacked, hurt, demeaned, etc. And then if you're outside of the group and you're having commentary about it, it causes feelings. And what do you say to people who feel that in some occasions you're punching down?
Well, okay, this is a conversation that
you're bored by, sick of.
Nah, yeah, I'm not sick of it. I don't want to be dismissive to that sentiment, but I don't know. That's a tough one for me because so much of that was a media phenomenon. What was happening in actual life versus how the media was reporting on my show. And I feel like the way they reported on that show was rage baiting to some degree. And there's so many different branches to talk about it. But I would say that, not everything is for everybody. I don't tell country artists what to sing about if I'm not going to go see a country show. If they bought tickets ever, maybe I'd listen. I don't know. They're just never there. I don't even know who's telling them I say these things.
Do you feel like your jokes are misrepresented, or you think they're misrepresented? For a purpose, which is to.
It's almost some reporting was as if they almost reported on it as if I was doing something other than a comedy show.
Okay, that is such a bad excuse that comedians have to stop using, because I mean,
the truth tellers.
Yeah, we're the truth tellers. It's comedy. Don't get offended by comedy. That is such cope, because you don't get to use comedy as a fucking shield. You are, if you're going to be a truth teller, then, you can't, first of all, you're not a truth teller. You're fucking full of shit. But, you're sitting, where am I going with this? I was going to say that, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. It was a great point, and he was going to cry when he heard it.
But, well, I can say this because I'm actually someone who's like a monstrously huge Dave Chappelle fan most of my life. Like he's one of my, or was one of my biggest heroes. He's the guy who got me into like, stand-up comedy, getting into comedy history. Like he basically is one of the reasons why I'm like an entertainer today. So I had nothing but praises to sing about this guy. And to people who don't know his career, I don't think everyone knows what happened with the Chappelle show specifically, because to people who didn't know at the time, Chappelle show at its peak, it was like the biggest TV show. It was like it didn't matter where you were in North America, you were quoting the lines from that show, and like black people, white people, like everyone was watching and quoting that show. And by the time the third season rolls around, he's doing a sketch, and he realizes the people in the room filming the sketch, white folk, are exacerbating the stereotypes and laughing at the stereotypes that he's doing rather than learning from them or what he was trying to do, right? Like his comedy was very intelligent, right? Like it wasn't just like laugh at this racist stereotype. It was like laugh at the idea of what if like a Klansman was black, right? Like if you wrapped your head around the idea of racism and race and just the like, there's more to it than simply just like, low hanging fruit. So he's doing a sketch, and the white people behind the cameras are just basically laughing at the stereotypes instead of laughing at him mocking the stereotypes, which is the more important part. And so he leaves the show. Obviously, it fucks over everyone else, the cast, the crew, but he leaves and disappears for a while. And because he didn't want to be part of something that wasn't effectively helping actually bring on change or educate people or even like, maybe make them more aware of what the world is around them. Instead, he saw it just reinforcing negative stereotypes that was going to eventually oppress in totality, black people through the reinforcement of the stuff, right? The exact same shit that in a lot of ways he's doing to the trans community years later, where he's got that first special. The jokes are shit. The the overall special itself. I actually really like parts of that special. The Care Bears routine, I think, is so cute and funny, and I loved him talking about just love emanating from the bodies, all that stuff. But the stuff on trans people, it's just low hanging stereotypes and fruit. Like he essentially says, what is it? Like, she whipped her dick and threw it out on the table. That's the punchline, right? Just that, I care about trans rights and I care about, LGBTQ plus stuff. But then he gets into that part. By the time he's doing the second special, it's like that now is like 30 minutes of the set. And it's about him being off about people's response to his jokes and being, and like what really sucks about all that is that moment he was actually starting to explore things I think needed to be talked about, like the racism of white gay men or white women who are lesbians in the queer community who talk over black people who have to, suffer multiple vectors of oppression. Like all of that is brilliant. Someone should bring it up. You should do a routine on racist white gay men, and that needs to be talked about, right? But instead, it's like we're once again going back to this transphobic shit where we're just rehashing stereotypes. And the thing I've never understood is that you can make those like transphobic jokes. That's your freedom of speech. Don't we have freedom of speech to say you're a hack? Like this shit sucks. It's not funny. It's like 1990s gay stereotypes rehashed as trans bigotry. You're just doing the same shit again, right? Yeah. Are you a man or are you a woman? Is a man gay for liking a woman? Is it real pussy or is it beyond beef burger pussy? Like that was this whole routine in the second special, right? Like all this dehumanization stuff. You can say that it's like it's not the same as committing like a hate crime. It's not the same as going out and doing violence towards a trans person, but you are like reinforcing the same atmosphere that makes that violence possible by dehumanizing trans people to a point where like your audience and your fans are like, yeah, they're less than human. They don't have real pussies. They have beyond beef burger pussies, right? Like that shit. You're talking about a human being, and you're talking about them in the sense that they're literal trash or food or a dog or a cockroach, like whatever you're doing there. That shit. Well, now you're watching MAGA do that with state enforcement, with actual policies and laws, and now shit gets real. Now it's like, oh, this stuff is scary as fuck. Like, look, there are people in the streets. Like, there are, what is it, over 100,000 or maybe 200,000 trans people in the US have had to relocate and go to other states and shit like that. Like, shit is actually getting very real for trans people who are being exterminated and persecuted and rounded up on all this kind of shit. So now it's like, oh, MAGA is doing what I did, but more extreme.
Right.
Or it's not a joke to them.
And I think that, tell me if you agree, I think that part of it is that he was basically crashing out because he interpreted the backlash as, oh my God, they're trying to cancel me. I'm just a comedian. You couldn't take me too seriously. And he thought that people were basically saying you can't tell jokes about trans people, when it wasn't that he was telling jokes about trans people. It's that they were the punchline. He was punching you down. Like there are people who make trans jokes, but they're not the punchlines. Like they're inherently supportive of trans people. Trans people tell hilarious jokes, but it's always about humanizing them. Yeah, very and it's edgy, like it's not like tame, like it's fucking, it's jokes that aren't at their expense. So at a time when they're being basically persecuted by most states in the country, he was like the wind in the sails of the Republicans who felt like, oh, okay, well, if Dave Chappelle says it, this is like a liberal icon. He's a comedian, a legendary comedian. So if he says that this is okay, then we're onto it. He's normalizing it. So, he refuses to understand that what he did was indeed punching down. Like, I think that if you're a comedian, and I don't want to get into the heads of comedians, but they think that if they just are an equal opportunity offender, then it's fine. Everything is copacetic, right? But no, it's about what you say, though. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, what you say matters. If you are dehumanizing people,
society. We're not living in an equal society, so you can't be an equal opportunity offender. That doesn't apply, right?
Right.
That's not the world.
It's just he doesn't understand that he is a very influential person with a lot of power, and he legitimized a lot of the dehumanizing attacks against trans people. It doesn't matter that the context was he was joking. It doesn't matter what his intent was. What matters is the outcome, and the outcome was objectively harmful, and he didn't listen to trans people. There were protests on Netflix because they were very clearly hurt by what he said. And you can disagree with, the individuals who worked in Netflix that wanted to deplatform him. This isn't a debate about deplatforming. It's just, if he actually cared about trans people, he would have taken their concerns seriously, but he doubled down and tripled down because he felt like he had to be proven right. And it's the same thing that Bill Burr is doing with the whole Riyadh Comedy Festival thing. He is pretending like, oh, these people are just, he's trying to like wokeify the scandal, and Dave Chappelle does that to an extent too, where it's like, oh, you just think that this society doesn't deserve comedy, when it's like nobody would.
Whitney Cummings said the same thing. She's like,
she said the same thing. Wow.
She said, you're all racists. You're being racist towards Saudi Arabia. And then obviously everyone's like, what do you mean being racist towards Saudi Arabia? It's like, what? We can't perform there. We're not allowed to go perform a show. It's like, no. If you want to go to Saudi Arabia and go play at some independent comedy club there, that is fucking badass.
Right.
That's brave of you to go do that. And honestly, go do that. And then talk about the plight of the people, what it was like, what your journey was like. Was it dangerous? Were you ever worried about the supervision of state censors and stuff like that? This is not that. You went to a state sponsored normalization tour, right?
Yeah.
It's like the UFC at the White House. Like, everyone who participates in that is doing propaganda to normalize Trump's fascist regime. Doesn't matter if you're like, oh, I'm apolitical, I don't care, I fight for fucking fighting sake. It's like, yeah, but like, you're now part of a propaganda form of entertainment, a propagandistic form of entertainment, and that's what you all did.
Yeah, it's who wrote his check. Like, as you said, Lance, nobody would have given a shit if he performed at a small comedy club in Saudi Arabia. It was the Saudi government that cut the check. So they compare it. It's this false equivalence with I perform in America all the time. Right, but the American government is not writing your check. If you took a check from the genocidal American government, people would have an issue with that, which is why people had an issue with a lot of artists performing at Trump's inauguration, because that is where you are legitimizing the actual government. So we're not talking about people. So they're trying to have a different conversation than the one that everybody else is having, and they don't want to engage in good faith with the criticisms. And I would buy this shit from all the other comedians. I don't buy it from Bill Burr, and I don't buy it from Dave Chappelle. But this is what he said about the Saudi Arabian comedy tour backlash.
I didn't feel wrong being up there.
Yeah, I know we were talking about the Comedy Festival in 2025. You did get a lot of fall. You did get a lot of, I don't know what your pushback or criticism for going among other people.
Yeah.
Okay. The U.S. intelligence did make it clear that they believe that the Saudis killed Jamal Khashoggi and the embassy in Turkey. And you knew that when you went, right?
Oh, absolutely. Now, I should tell you.
You had no qualms?
I won't say that. They asked me to go years before that. Mm-hmm. And I said no for that very reason. Since that time, the United States government does business with the Saudis. Netflix does business with the Saudis. Everyone. The Saudis finance tons of movies. All these things. I know. I see them financing boxing matches and all these things. And none of these things were an issue until I went there. Mm-hmm. Now, why is that? As soon as a black man can make money off the plantation, they try to tell you that the money is dirty. Well, okay, I'll go home and spend the money with actual slave owners on it.
Mhm.
Where is this clean money you're talking
But you said you hesitated for years to go. The years you didn't go.
Is that not the most like disingenuous argument?
I can't speak to any of that because obviously, like, do you want to hear a white man explain, the black experience? I got no opinions on that. But the comment before that he was talking about how, like, no one had an issue with this specifically until it happened to involve the Riyadh Comedy Festival. It's like, that's just not true, though. People have been calling out Saudi Arabia and them buying up all these American franchises and entertainment for a while, right? Like, this is not the first time anyone spoke out about this. And people have been calling out the amount of like video game companies, like EA Sports just got bought up by Saudi Arabia. Like that EA Sports monster factory is in my backyard. Like I can drive past it. It's in Vancouver, BC. That whole thing is now completely owned and it's going to be operated by Saudi Arabia, right? What that means for the games in the series, I don't know, but it's not like that comedy festival was the first time anyone called it out. I think this was one of those times where it's just like so many people on that bill are the same people who brag about being the truth tellers.
Right.
We're the censored ones. We're the ones whose mics get fucking taken away from us on our 12th Netflix special and all this kind of shit. And it's like, Bill Burr specifically had a quote that talks about where he talks about taking like blood money for like the Saudi comedy festivals. Like he specifically called that out. So that one's really bad.
It was about Beyonce, right? That she was performing for
Beyonce performing that
Gaddafi's son's birthday or some shit like that. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, is there a hypocrisy? Yes, like there's no ethical, ethical money making in a capitalist system. Understand that, right? That's not the argument that they are making. Like if you are working for EA and it gets bought out by Saudi Arabia, I think that's very different than a multimillionaire choosing to accept an optional gig where they are very clearly normalizing a government that has committed a genocide against Yemen that is unspeakably evil towards their own population. There's a difference. Like this is not something that he had to do to survive. Like these are all multimillionaires. Bill Burr wouldn't have gone bankrupt if he didn't go to Saudi fucking Arabia. It's crazy to me.
It's a very big payday. And you know what? I would have liked it better if everyone was just honest and like, I'm just getting paid. Fuck you. And that's it. Right. Then end of discussion. Yeah. Doing it for the cash, selling out, whatever. They don't care. But it was the fact that we got these preachy kind of like after the fact Bill Burr was going off about how like, you don't know what it was like. Like I had all these preconceived notions of what their society was going to be like. I was going to see like these guys going, la 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 la, and like trying to cut off my head. And then I got there and I saw like American franchises and Chili's. And I was like, so you were a racist. That's all you're saying. You had all these racist ideas of what you thought their society was going to be like. You got there and you saw America and you're like, oh, you're not backwards. You got a fucking Chipotle's. I'm home. And then you had a wonderful time. I'm sure you had a lovely time. I'm sure everything was so nice, right? Like I'm sure the food was amazing. The hotel was amazing. I'm sure you had the best possible time. But that doesn't mean that you had like. He also talked about how much they loved the jokes. He's like, they loved my gay jokes when I was making fun of gay people. I was like, no shit. Were you calling out the royals? Were you calling out the prince? Were you calling out the murder of Jamal Khashoggi? No, you were like, gay people sure are gay, and everyone was like, that is true, they are gay. I'm like, I was so brave. I was so brave on my journey.
We know how pro-gay Saudi Arabia is, but it's like we know they didn't speak truth to power because that was stipulated in their contract. They could have criticized the royal family, and there were other things as well. But like there were parameters there. So if listen, I think that a lot of people wouldn't be as turned off by this shit if they were like, okay, yeah, I'll take the paycheck, and then they go there and they speak truth to power. They make fun of the Saudi royals, but they didn't. They were just little puppets there to legitimize the regime. And it doesn't matter if it's the Saudi regime, the Israeli regime, the American regime. The fact that you're taking this blood money from a murderous regime, that speaks to your character. It shows that you care more about the money. And listen, if you already have millions and millions and millions and millions, like there's no excuse for anyone to sell out ever. But if you already have millions of dollars, I'm sorry. Like, you have so much less leeway. If this was like fucking some grocery store worker that makes minimum wage and they were like, honey, do you want to come speak at Saudi Arabia? We'll give you $1 million just out of the blue. I could forgive that person because that's going to change their life. Like, how does having
who am I to say, right? Like, yeah,
right.
If I'm working at a grocery store and someone said, "Here's $1 million to go speak in Saudi Arabia," bye.
Right. Like, that's going to be life changing. But Bill Burr having like $103 million and then going to $105 million, not going to be that life changing. He's going to basically have the same standard of living. So it's just it's so disingenuous. And I feel like it's definitely patronizing the way that they're talking about this, and I just don't believe them. I think that they both I can only speak to Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle. The other ones I don't know enough, and I don't care about them enough. But these two know what the fuck they were doing. They are too smart to.
They're very intelligent.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, and smart people play dumb sometimes, and I think that's what they're doing. The good news is that, like, this interview from Dave Chappelle, it does communicate to me that he at least still has a little bit of self-awareness. Sure, he's out of touch. Just being wealthy is going to make you out of touch no matter what. But he has enough self-awareness to be like, oh, Lauren Boebert came up to me and wanted to take a picture and said, hey, it's just, people that think there's only two genders. And to him, he's like, oh, so this is like the tribe that I'm part of now. They think I'm part of the team, and this makes me nauseous. Like, I don't want to be with these fucking people.
Do you believe that statement he made where he was like, I didn't know that you can say I respectfully decline? And I was like, what? You're a super celebrity. like you're one of the most recognizable famous human beings on the planet. This is your first rodeo when it comes to like, I don't want to take a picture with you. Like, he has to deal with this shit all day, every day, everywhere he goes. I don't know.
The way that I interpreted that is he didn't want to say no because it would be awkward. Because if he genuinely didn't know he could just say no, I feel like, bro, have you been famous for like 3 days? You've been famous for decades. So I feel like he just didn't want to, like, he wants to be a people pleaser. He's at Congress. He just wants to go along to get along. I don't know why he was at Congress, but yeah, the whole situation is annoying, but I will say I'm like cautiously optimistic that maybe he'll come to his senses. But he is a multimillionaire, so at the end of the day, that's going to influence him. Like, class analysis really is very significant. You can be a truth teller, but then once you live in a mansion for years and years and years, and you surround yourself with very wealthy people, the wealthiest person on earth, Elon Musk, you really grow detached from the struggles of like regular people. I mean, it's still crazy that Dave Chappelle was so stunned that there were boos when he brought Elon Musk on stage. He thought that people would be excited.
Until you said that. I forgot about that. That is such a weird moment in like popular culture history where he brought him out, got so many boos, and then they try to salvage it by getting him to say the most recognizable catchphrase from the show, "I'm rich, bitch." And then he fucks it up. He's like, "I'm rich, bitch." And they still do the air horns and it's still like, "Dear, dear, dear." I was like,
oh, and it was
so
painful
weird.
Because Dave Chappelle was very clearly taken aback. And so he was just kind of scrambling and trying to like play it cool. And he's like, "Boo these nuts, bitch." It's like, oh, he dropped the "these nuts." Oh, it's cringeworthy. I can't take it, Dave. You dropped the "these nuts" joke. You are. I could say "these nuts." Okay, you could say "these nuts." We're people on the internet. You are Dave Chappelle. A "these nuts" joke is beneath you. And you are saying it because you're so awkward right now. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, it was sad.
So we'll see. Maybe he will, turn the page. But I think he should apologize. He should do a mea culpa and actually try to understand the damage that he's caused.
I am so here for that arc, though. I'd like, I stand by it. Like, I forget, was it Hassan who said that about ContraPoints? Where it's just like, the door is always open for you to be on the right side of this issue. And I agree with Dave Chappelle. Like, it would be amazing to have Dave Chappelle, the ally, come out of all this. That would be a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
he wants to
that would be wonderful.
Do some reading, do some growth. That would be fucking fantastic.
Yeah, actually talk to the people who felt offended so that way they can explain their position to you rather than you just talking at them. Because, but I mean, part of that is admitting that you're wrong. Again, a lot of like rich people, they probably are in echo chambers. I don't know. I can't speak to like his social circle, but I'm rooting for him because like you, I was a really big fan as well of Dave Chappelle and Chappelle show and whatnot, and I watched all of his stand-up specials, and I thought he was funny, and I thought that he had a very almost like George Carlin. He had a great way of speaking the truth through comedy and like making you feel more sane when you listen to his comedy. So I would love to see him get back to his roots of, one, being funny again, and two, actually not punching down, because that's just like, that's not good comedy. That's shit comedy. That's like lazy. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. So I'm rooting for him to be better. If not, then fuck him.
With the machine at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I messaged him. I haven't heard back from Mike, and I know we're getting close to 7:00, so I don't know if he's going to be joining or if he had an accident or an emergency, but he hasn't written back as to what happened. And I know that you wanted to honor Binder and all of his super chats, and I will, as the only other Leftist Mafia person here, do them with you. But we should probably start them. Yeah, because there's probably a lot to go through, right?
Yes, there is. And also there's more from the week before. Real quick, though, I do want to, because I already made a thumbnail. I just want to address the topic.
Really so that way, what's on the cover story?
I'll address it really quickly, because I like, for anybody who is curious, we have no idea what the fuck we're gonna talk about. I just make a thumbnail if I have time based on what I expect us to talk about. So I don't want it to be false advertising. But I'll bring it up here. There was another vote on the War Powers resolution, and it failed once again. It was very, very close. Basically, one Democrat sunk it, Jared Golden. We had one Republican defect, that was Thomas Massey, and one Democrat defect, Jared Golden. And had Jared Golden not done that, then it would have passed the House of Representatives. Would it have passed the Senate? I have no clue.
Always one guy.
That, my friend, is the rotating villain.
It's like, it's just so obvious, though, right? Like, I don't subscribe to the absolutist, like both parties are identical in all ways. They're not. There's very clear difference between the two parties. It's like shit and shittier, right? They're both shitty. They're both terrible. One clearly is more hell-bent on fascist extermination of certain groups and categories and marginalized people. So that one's the worst one. The one going full Hitler right now. But like, you need a completely complacent Democratic Party to make this possible and to keep this fucking train on course. And here you have it before your eyes, right? It's like, clearly this was discussed beforehand. Like, went to a vote. What, in the last second is fucking the West Wing style, high on mushrooms walking towards the camera shot. It's all someone's like, oh yeah, no, I can't believe it. One person's going to defect. Who, what? We have a yay, a nay, sir. The Republican. Like, no, that, like, it's fuck you. And this pisses me off so much.
Yeah. And like Jared Golden, he was somebody that leadership needed to monitor. Because he is a war hawk. He's going to retire. Like, he's out after this. So, I mean, there's got to be something that leadership could do, but we know that they didn't even try, because it behooves them to let this keep going, because both Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, they support this war, straight up. They support the war. They don't want it to stop. Chuck Schumer was talking about this vote just because he knows that that's what the base wants, so he's trying to placate them. I mean, after Trump made that fucking nuke threat, the genocidal threat, Chuck Schumer comes out like a day or so later. He's like, we're going to have a vote next Thursday on the War Powers resolution. Because, God forbid they come back from their hiatus to vote immediately, since this is a matter of life and death. No, we'll just do it next Thursday. Like, as Jerry Rig Everything said on Twitter, just take your time, bud. Just take your time. There's no reason to rush something like this, of course. It's just very demoralizing and frustrating. Having said that, though, I will say that I think that we are winning the battle overall, at least when it comes to Israel-Palestine within the Democratic Party. I have a video about this tomorrow, because there's no way that Democrats can support Israel with their full chest anymore. They have to try to obscure it. They have to try to hide it. There was a vote yesterday on Bernie Sanders' resolution to not send Israel more bombs and bulldozers. Yeah, and almost like the overwhelming majority of Democrats voted in favor of it, and there were just 7. It was Chuck Schumer, Chris Coons, Catherine Cortez Masto, John Fetterman, Jackie Rosen. There's 2 more. I'm blanking on them. I can't remember the other 2, but I mean, it's yeah, they are war criminals, and that should be the final nail in their coffins. But I will say it's encouraging to know that even people like Alyssa Slopkin and Cory Booker, who have been supportive of this genocidal terrorist state of Israel, they even felt compelled to vote no on more weapons to Israel. Like, that's not going to erase the blood on their hands, but it really speaks to the pressure that's being put on the Democratic Party. So I think that we actually have won with regard to the rhetorical argument. The next battle is to like actually get these shitty ass Democrats out of office and not elevate them to more positions of power. Like the Democrats like Cory Booker, Alyssa Slopkin. Great. I'm glad that you're at least trying to placate us now, but you still got to get the fuck out of the party, and you can't run for higher office. Fuck you, because you supported a genocide. If you voted multiple times to send this terrorist country more weapons while they were executing Palestinians, no, I'm sorry. That's just unforgivable. That is completely unforgivable. You can come around, great, but you've got to, like, you can't lead the party. You've got to try to undo the damage that you caused. Like, you can't bring back those lives, but you can, like, go out of your way to shed light on the pain caused by your vote. Like, you have to make amends for what the fuck you did. You can't just like, yeah, I gave them the bombs, but let's move on now. No, fuck you. You're a criminal. So, yeah, I think we've won. It's just a matter of, solidifying those gains. But with that being said, we can go ahead and get to super chats. Lance, do you mind if I run to the bathroom real quick while you read your chats?
I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, Mike is in the chat. So time zones are tough. Mike, we're just ending. I just DM'd you. I was like, what happened? Do you want to just reschedule it for next week? I don't know.
Yeah, that's okay, Matt or Mike. I'm sorry. That's no big deal.
Let's just reschedule it for next week.
I fucked up time zones so many times, so yeah. All right, I'll be back.
My fault. No worries, bro. It's all good. We have to read through a bunch of Matt Binder super chats now anyway, since he's not going to be available for the next couple of weeks. But I will start before we get there. Hold on one sec. Scrolling through. Cartoon 49, thank you very much for the $2 dono. The Ellison currently don't own Warner Brothers and CNN yet. I guess is the capital term there. But I mean, they're going to try and buy it all eventually. Evan from Portland, thank you so much for the $10 in honor of a great human who bettered this dark world in too short time on it. I assume this is for Matt Binder's dad. I will send it to Matt Binder in David Dole's name to make it extra amazing for him. And Looney Tunes 9000, thank you for the $4.99. Lance has once again proven me wrong when I said the Leftist Mafia would be back in December. No, I'd love to come on next week. Awesome. All right, let's just do that. That'll probably be easier because we're gonna have to read through all of Binder's super chats now. The Coffee Man Can, thanks for resubscribing to Prime. Jerry Riley, thank you very much for resubscribing to Prime. James from the internet, thanks for resubscribing to Prime. Canceling_culture, thank you for resubscribing. And you're back. I'm good, I guess, if you want to start with Binders. And Mike lost track of time, but he said he'll be here next week.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good.
I'm gonna
Alrighty, so I'm just gonna go through all of them on the StreamYard. And I'm not sure if they're for Binder or for myself. There's a lot for Binder, so thank you all for doing that, but I'm just going to read them all one by one. So Fred J. Walsh, thank you for the $20 to the Binder family. Tyler Hackner, thank you for being a member to me for 39 months. Gwick, member for 13 months to Matt Binder, I believe. Wow, 13 months. Try to watch your channel for LM. Real John Lithium, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. So let me write that down, John, so that way I remember to thank you, because whenever I get a gifted membership, it doesn't show up, and I try to put you in the outro. So gifted 10, John Lithium, making a note of that. Thank you so much again, John. You're always so kind and generous. Really appreciate that. Thank you to Rory Gibson for being a member for a month and for gifting a membership. Let me write that down as well. Rory Gibson. Alrighty, and Cartoon 49 asks me, thoughts on Pete Hegseth quoting a fake Bible verse in Pulp Fiction? As a lefty Christian, found it bizarre and further need separation of church and state. Yeah, I also found it really bizarre, and I think it really speaks to the fact that a lot of these fundamentalist evangelicals, they don't actually know the Bible that they purport to follow. I mean, they're not following the teachings of Jesus, and I think this kind of like speaks to them just not knowing their shit. Also, Cartoon asks, thoughts on black celebs like Nick Cannon, Chili from TLC, and others going mega? That is... So Nick Cannon isn't necessarily surprising. Chili from TLC, I wasn't really familiar with her politics, but I love TLC. I grew up with them, so that makes me sad. I don't know why there are so many celebrities in 2026, the year of our Lord, who are all of a sudden going MAGA, but it breaks my heart. And at this point, I've just taught myself to not like any celebrity because they're going to disappoint me. So, SG Kick Loop sends $10 to Matt Binder saying, sad to hear it. Sorry, and condolences to the Binder fam. Thank you for sending that to Matt. Appreciate you. Also, the Blue Witch sends $10 to Matt for you and your family. We love you so much, Matt. Cartoon, thank you for sending $2, sending support for Matt. Ali B, the Hood Nymph, sends $5. Humanist Report sent me for Dave to Matt. Mortified Penguin sends $20 to Binder. Condolences and best wishes, Binder fam. We all love you. Evan from Portland sends $10 to Binder. Love and support to the Binder family. That's really kind of you all. Thank you for doing this for Matt. Tigwick. Yeah, Tigwick sends 150 Canadian. Tigwick, thank you so much. That's so generous. So message to Matt Binder, giving Lance, David, and Mike shares to you tonight, Matt. My heart goes out to you and your family. Tigwick, you are so kind. Thank you so much for doing that for him.
And mod extraordinaire, by the way.
Yeah, Tigwick is just Tigwick is the GOAT. Nikki Canning, thank you for the 20 to Binder to help your family at this time. Dirty Pirate, $10 to Binder. So sorry for your loss, Matt. Hug. Carrie Shaw, $99.99 to Binder, and an amazing message. Great show, David. When he reads these, he's gonna appreciate all of them for sure.
He put a smile on his face.
Yeah, definitely. Old Man in Philly, thanks for the 20 to Matt. Sending condolences to you and your family. Better days will come once again. Thank you for the kind message to him. Burning sends $2. My condolences, Matt. Heart emojis. Crush sends $5 to Matt. Take care of yourself, brother. And Cy Abelman sends $53 to Matt. Wow, you guys are so generous. That's awesome. You really are kind people. I'm proud of you all. So sorry to hear about Mr. Binder passing. May his memory be a blessing. Not a Low Journey sends $5 to Matt. Wishing you the best during this time, Matt. I Get Carried Away sends $5 to Matt. So sorry for your loss, Matt. Keeping you and your family in my thoughts, sending you positive vibes.
To people sending in super chats right now, if you're sending super chats for Matt, send them to Matt's channel. Don't send them to mine, because I'll just have to now send it to Matt right afterwards. But I will get it to him. But big thank you to everyone sending it. Just go to youtube.com/@MattBinder, and then you can click on his super chat directly. Yeah, on that note, thank you, Max Danger 17 for the $5 for the Binder fam, and a shout out to Binder's dad, who will be missed.
Yes, he will. He was in this chat every single stream, so he was a part of the community. So it's a hard loss. Where were we? Jay's on the screen. Okay, there we go. $10 to Matt. Rip Alan Binder. I'm sending my well wishes to Matt and his family. Alan was a good man. Yes, he was. He was an amazing man. The Bay Photo, member for 33 months to Matt. So sorry to hear about Papa Binder. Much love and best wishes to you and your family in this challenging time. Fuggy sends $5 to me, saying to both you guys, there is a new David Cross routine on YouTube. Really, really good. I know. I've got to watch that. I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen that?
No, now I'm like, sweet, something to add to the list. I love David Cross. I've seen him live.
Oh, you have? Oh, I'm jealous. His last special was so fucking funny. It was sometime during like the start of COVID that I watched it, and I was just cracking up.
Yeah, he was really funny. He came to Vancouver, and it's a very interesting lane. He kind of does like edgy woke comedy is the best way I could describe it. Like there was times when it was like, you're leaning pretty heavy into old stereotypes, but the end goal and the punchline is punching up when you get there.
Right.
So you might be like going down the road of like, that's when I went to the, the massage parlor where I got the Asian massage or something like that. And you're like, okay, where's he going with this? And then by the end of it, it's like, oh, okay. And he's making fun of Trump or something like that. Right.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't. Yeah. So he was really funny.
He's the one comedian that I wouldn't want to throw in a gulag these days.
The only one. Wow.
Maybe there's others that I'm not thinking of. Like the big comedians, that is. I mean, smaller comedians are fucking crushing it, of course, but the one big one that I still have not been.
I'll spare Josh Johnson. I think he's really funny, and he's crushing.
Oh, I do love Josh Johnson. Yeah, and I do like Desi Lydic as well, and the other guy from Daily Show, Ronnie Chang. He's funny as fuck, actually.
I saw him and Hassan Minhaj together with my partner.
Really?
They did a battle where they were basically just battling each other the entire time. It was Ronnie Chang versus Hassan Minhaj. And the wildest thing about it was that it was so much racist humor. And 3/4 of the special was like just watching how awkward white people in the audience didn't know if they were allowed to laugh at these jokes. And in the very front of the stage, I don't know if these were VIP tickets you could pay for, but you had seats that were actually on stage. So you would be like facing the other audience on the stage of the show, and there was like, obviously it was a very like, Vancouver's very multi-ethnic mixed race crowd, but all the white people on the bleachers or whatever, they always were just like squirming and then, like twisting, like because they're like, I guess they were also thinking like, I'm on camera right now, if I laugh at this, am I a racist? Like,
oh, that's hilarious.
That part was really funny.
Thank you for that, Fuggy. The next one is from Calibrating member chats, Matt. I'm so sorry for your loss, Matt. Your dad was a lovely man. It's so nice that people in the community got to know Matt's dad because he was also a member of the community. I think that's so awesome. Ice Cream sends $10 to Matt. My deepest condolences to the Binder family for their loss. Thank you so much. Looney Tunes sends $2. Rip to Pops Binder. Thank you, Looney Tunes. V-Man sends $20 to me. Thank you, V-Man. Asking to answer why Americans don't rise up against this oppressive system. When a people don't know how to be free, they are pleased to be slaves. They curse their liberator and kiss the whips of their masters. Gregorio Luporn. That's a great quote. That's a really great quote. Thanks for the insight, V-Man.
I think you're starting to see the cracks starting to form, like in the amount of warehouses that have burnt down in the last little while, right? Like those are crimes of people saying they're doing it. Specifically, I think in almost every instance, it's been like because they didn't pay us a living wage, kind of stuff, right? Like that's the early stages of people just going beyond their limit. They got to the breaking point.
Yeah, there's a rising sentiment of like, the system isn't working, voting doesn't work, protesting doesn't work, I'm ready to burn it down, I'm ready for a revolution. And like that doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be some socialist revolution, but it's a sign that, like you were saying, Lance, like people are reaching their breaking point. And if you like, it may seem insignificant, but it's actually very significant. Like all political science research on revolutions and regime changes, there always has to be a revolutionary fervor in the country for like a significant change, for like either a revolution or for somebody who's been in power forever or some dictator to be forced out. And you unquestionably see the revolutionary fervor, and even so many oligarchs are admitting like, hey man, like there might be pitchforks for us soon. So that gives me hope. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be change, but it's nice to see that people are aware. Like I guess it's not nice to see people so disillusioned that they want to like rise up and overthrow the system, but just like this collective anger and rage towards the system is actually really encouraging to see, because Americans have just been like distracted, bread and circus, Netflix, video games, yada yada yada. But now you really see that like this is only going in one direction. So if the government doesn't address this in a really meaningful way, it's only gonna, like, the sentiment's only gonna spread. Looney Tunes, thanks for the $5. Someone explained to me why RFK Jr. testified twice in one damn day. I think it's because they just wanted to hear the sound of his beautiful voice. That'd be my guess. Don't we all? Kenzie, thank you for being a member for 34 months. That's a very long time. Rory Gibson sent another gifted. Let me write that down. Rory, thank you so much. That's 2 gifteds from Rory. Who's next here? Troy Mason, $5 for Binder. Condolences to you, Matt, and the rest of your family. ABS says, give Binder my condolences. Also, are you excited for Pragmata being released tomorrow? I'll probably pass on Pragmata. Maybe I'll pick it up on a sale. It doesn't really speak to me, but I hope people enjoy it. I heard that it's pretty good.
I started playing Doom: The Dark Ages. It's fun. Good metal.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Those always have really good soundtracks. I haven't like played them, but I've listened to some of the soundtracks here and there, or like heard them. And yeah.
I'm also trying Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, the old Switch one, for the first time. It's challenging. It's like
that's
playing
a hard fucking game.
Yeah, I was like, this is like playing old Super Nintendo games where I'm like, I died, I think 27 times in one level, and I'm only in the second world. I was like, that's pretty wild.
No, it's a hard game. So you're not like, you're not wrong to think it's difficult. I played that one a couple years ago. I can't remember when, but I was like, was Donkey Kong always this hard? Like, I don't remember as a kid struggling this much. This is fucking crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it's challenging. How's Bonanza? Is that the name of the big new one?
Oh yeah. That was my favorite game of last year. It was my game of the year.
Oh wow.
It was so fucking good. Great music too. Like super campy, but like really fun game. Highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Sweet.
I think David would agree as well. Because me and David usually have like opposite tastes on video games. So if we both agree.
Really?
I think so. I can't, well, not opposite taste necessarily, but he's more like he plays a lot of RPGs and kind of more like,
you guys both do, right? Like I don't have the time. Like I love RPGs and I don't mind some RPGs, but I just don't have the time. Like I'm saving a chunk of my life for whenever I can get Expedition 33 or whatever done.
Yeah, so good.
Like, but like, you know, the amount of RPGs that come out these days, I'm like, this is like an 80-hour game, 120-hour game, or like even the 150s. So I was like, I don't have 150 hours for.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem. I kind of go through phases. I do like RPGs, but lately I kind of just go back and forth between cozy games and Souls likes, and I don't know. Nothing else can really keep my attention these days. Unless it's a Souls-like or cozy game. I'm not sure why. It's polar opposites, but sometimes I'll switch it up. But I did play, Expedition 33. That was a great game.
Yeah, I really want to play the game.
Okay. A Social Communist, thank you for the 20 to Binder. I will always remember Alan Binder, Dad, for eagerly greeting everybody who showed up early to match streams. My love to the Binder family. Yeah, he was there every single time from start to finish. Ryan says, condolences to the Binder family. Thank you all so much for sending these. V-Man sends $20 saying today's first of one of my favorite anti-colonial holidays. It's the birth of Jose de Diego, a poet, statesman, lawyer, and leader in the fight for Puerto Rican independence. He also led efforts to fight against the U.S. trying to ancosize PR.
Anglicize. But that's
Anglicize.
awesome.
I cannot say that word if my life depends on it. Anglicize. My God. There's some words that my brain just breaks over.
Whiteify. Just say that.
I can say whiteify.
The Caucasian curse.
My body won't let me say such blasphemy about the white people. Fuggy says, met some lovely Americans traveling in Italy last week. Oh, that's good. Feel terrible for the state of your country and the, again, beautiful Americans I met that are the best of you. Well, I am honestly relieved to know that the Americans you met, Fuggy, are cool and not psychopaths. So that pleases me. I'm glad that they were good representatives for us abroad. That's good. Hideous Lemon, thanks for being a member for 36 months. Chemical Dragon sends 20 to Matt, saying, Matt, I'm so sorry for your loss and hope you were able to heal in time from this loss. Please know I am thinking of you and your family in this difficult time. Take this donation for funeral or any other expenses you need. That's really kind of you to say. Jack sends $50 for Bender and your family. Wow, he's gonna be like so touched. Marla Surratt sends $10 and says, so sorry for your loss, Matt and family. Aaron Templar sends $20 for Bender with love and condolences. Pickle Surprise 69 says, rest in power, Bender's dad, father of a great human. Cynthia sends $10, says, so sorry for your loss, Matt. Vintage 79 sends £5. No message, but thank you. That's to Matt.
Vintage Soup.
Oh.
Good name.
Yeah, it is. Marla Surratt asks, anyone see David Dole's post about bees in Israel? I watched that video and was laughing so hard.
Bees.
It's so funny. And especially when he got to the part with the Israeli soldier. So I saw the picture that he was talking about. You know, the one with who was like making sheep herding noises at the Palestinians.
Yeah.
I didn't follow the story. I did not know that that was like that picture was on the cover of some Italian magazine or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
And they said it was anti-Semitic to share that picture because he was so fucking ugly and they thought that it was doctored.
It was like an actual ambassador said it. That was like, you know, this vile, exaggerated caricature or whatever is racist and like anti-Semitic and all sort of stuff. And I was like, that's like a real photo. And I was, you know, what's wild about that is like, I don't think some people have seen how brutal like colonization it can be, right? Like just the like, I think what's shocking about the photo is how like he's the IDF soldier is like dehumanizing this woman in front of him, right? And like it's really horrifying to just look upon.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that you think that in itself is racist is pretty telling.
It's so fucking stupid. It's like a parody. Honestly, like I was laughing out loud I was listening at the gym. I just like burst out laughing. Like that was such a great video from David. Everybody go watch it if you haven't seen it. Cartoon 49 asks favorite underrated games from PS1, PS2 era. Favorite underrated games from PS1, PS2 era. So I really like this game called Metropolis Mania on PS2. It was basically like Sim City, but it was, you kind of like walk around as a character and you're a giant in the city and you have to go and do these like tasks. It was kind of like SimCity and Animal Crossing. It's hard to describe it. It looks like shovelware and like, I'm sure only like 5 people have played it, but I really enjoyed that game for a while. I would say that was a hidden gem.
I liked Parappa the Rappa a lot.
Oh, that's a fun one.
On PS1. I liked what's Virtual Joe? Was that the fighting game on PS2? That was cartoony. That one's fun.
Oh, Beautiful Joe?
Oh, Beautiful Joe. That's it. Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe. That one's really good. Yeah.
That's good. I don't know if that's a deep cut. Those are both pretty popular.
I kind of feel like I think Beautiful Joe would be underrated, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Tropical Ding Dong asks, hey, came in late, but did you see the AOC Psychot news? Is this more AOC having less than adequate political instincts, or is Choicot a bust? I don't know. The video that Tropical Ding Dong is referring to is from Drop Site, where they ask her about whether or not she's going to endorse
I've been mispronouncing words all day. I've been doing the same thing where I'm just like, oh my God.
My brain is fucking mashed potatoes. So she doesn't really give a good answer. She basically says she's like only one person and she's busy and, you know, if she endorses him, then what about all these other? She just gave a non-answer. I don't know. I think that it's a shitty excuse. He is clearly surging. He's within 5 points of Anthony Weiner. And I think it is horseshit if she chooses to not endorse him. I think that if you are going to get in Congress and then kick the ladder up behind you, I think that's ass. Like, this man was her chief of staff, and for her to not endorse him, especially given the alternative, which is Anthony Weiner, a milquetoast Democrat, I just find it so frustrating. And yeah, I think that this is another one of those instances of her having less than adequate political instincts. And it's not the first time that she's done this. You know, it's not just her. Also, Mamdani, again, they didn't want to endorse Chaya Ose against, Hakeem Jeffries. I hate that, because if you actually care about the policies you purport to care about, which I believe that they do, obviously, then you have to change the fucking makeup of Congress. So I don't know what her reasoning is. She did not say, clearly. It was just some shitty excuse. And I was disappointed. I'm not going to go out of my way to shit on AOC, because she still is, she's one of the best members of Congress. But like, in terms of just like the game of playing politics, my God, she is not good at it. She's just not good at playing politics at all. Ignar Husky sends a member chat saying, just sending some love y'all's way. How long you think this new ceasefire is going to last if it hasn't already failed? LOL, but Israel won't abide by it. Yeah, so referring to the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire, I don't think it's going to last at all. What do you think, Lance?
I mean, can Israel ever stop massacring civilians for an hour, let alone a 24-hour period, let alone 10 days?
They get withdrawals if they don't kill people within every hour.
I think it's right now, like, no joke. It's supposed to be a school classroom full of children is killed by Israel every day.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the official, I think, like UNICEF figures. So, I mean, it would be amazing and incredible if they could get that 10-day ceasefire, and if they could then leverage it into something greater. And it would also be a pretty huge flex for Iran. I love that. So the timeline, if I'm getting this correct, is that there's initial ceasefire agreed upon. And then in that ceasefire is that, it includes Israel trying to just massacre every civilian in Lebanon. And then Israel's like, what? Did you say more massacres? And then just like ramp shit up, and then just went super bloodthirsty. And then immediately Iran's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's called a ceasefire violation. And they're the only country, I guess, ever in history to hold Israel accountable. Right. And then they're like, so the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. And then Trump in response is like, oh, you close the Strait of Hormuz? I close the Strait of Hormuz. And then he did his own barricade of the Strait of Hormuz. I was like, so there's two blockades now? Like, how? And then I was like, so he did his second blockade, so he can now flex that he's the reason why the blockade is being open. So he can be like, oh, well, I eased that other blockade or something like that. I'm lost. But so now 10 days apparently has been achieved. So
yeah, we have very smart leadership, if you couldn't already tell. I will say the one silver lining out of this is for the first time ever, I've enjoyed AI. And it's the fucking music videos that Iran is putting out. The song "Young Country" is run by pedophiles is stuck in my fucking head. Like, it's so good.
I mean, we're still full Butlerian jihad, but one exception was made. Okay,
yes, exactly.
Lego music video.
The only time it's been used in a way that I found clever. Cartoon asks, did you hear Spaceballs 2 comes out next year? I did see that, yeah. I am sad to admit that I've never watched the entirety of Spaceballs 1 from start to finish. I'll probably have to do that. Yeah, I've seen it here and there. I remember when I was a kid, I watched it, and I was like, I loved Rick Moranis because, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and whatnot. And I fell asleep, and then I've just seen like bits and pieces. I've never just sat down and watched the whole thing. I think I would really enjoy it, so I'm going to do that before.
We should do like a screening for charity or something like that.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Talk about that
for sure. Okay, Chemical Dragon asks, Mike, I've been playing Expedition 33 slowly. Nice. But I suck timing dodges and parries. I'm using a controller on my PC. Does it get easier later on, or should spend more effort practicing this early on? It doesn't get easier later on, but you get better at it. I was really, really bad at dodges and parries at the beginning of the game. I think probably for like the first quarter of the game, I was ass. I was getting my cheeks clapped in every single battle. But by the end, you actually really, you learn a lot more about like what to look for, because each of the enemies, they really do telegraph their moves, and you start seeing repeat enemies more often. So you know their moves, and other ones, you just get better at it, right? You practice. So if you are struggling, don't beat yourself up. You're going to get better. It just is going to take a lot of practice. Once you get it down though, you'll get it down. It's still a challenging game, but you're going to get it down at some point. Just give yourself a little bit of time. Let me see here. The next one is from Spot Dogs, who says, "My condolences to Matt. From what I've heard, your dad was a great guy." Kowalski says, to Matt Bender, "My sincerest condolences, Matt, to you and your family. Bender dad was a powerhouse in the online left community and was a positive influence on literally thousands. Thank you for sharing him with us." That's a really sweet sentiment to send. Thank you for that, Kowalski.
Yeah, very well said.
Yeah. V-Man says, "One of the reasons," and thank you, V-Man, really appreciate the generous super chat. "One of the reasons I am both a socialist and a supporter of Puerto Rican independence is seeing the effects of capitalism on Puerto Rico, and my grandpa was 12 years old when the nationalist revolt broke out in his hometown in 1950. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, V-Man, that would leave a lasting impact on your life. And especially if you're in this position where, Puerto Rico has been exploited for decades and you saw the effects firsthand. I don't blame you at all for being a socialist. So yeah, that makes sense to me. Thank you to 559BJM for becoming a YouTube member. And last but not least, V-Man says, "I can't say for certain if my grandpa was there since he has dementia, but when I ask about what happened in Peñuelas in October of 1950, he begins to cry." Oh, wow, that's sad. That's sad. Well, that is the last super chat. Did you have anything else, Lance, that you needed to read off? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Just Pickle Surprise, thank you so much for the $5.99, and also Gator Highlights S4, thank you so much for the $10 in a Benny Johnson voice. Another thing, I'm not gay. Please don't put in the newspaper that I am gay. Appreciate it. And someone is also saying in the chat, apparently in Expedition 33, you have to listen to the enemies. They have audio cues. So
that's right. That's a really good tip. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Do you want to raid Carolyn Kwan?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me bring up Twitch here. Carolyn Kwan. Okay, good. I was going to say, am I logged into Twitch? Yes.
Thank all the mods and all the chats for being awesome and keeping the place safe from the baddies. And we'll be back next week for maybe more Mafia people. Oh, and Mike is joining next week. He I guess lost track of time.
Yes. Okay, well, everybody take care. Lance, it was so wonderful talking to you. Have a nice week, everybody.
Always. Bye.
Oh, wait. I totally forgot. Kowalski just reminded me. I was supposed to read the super chats from 2 weeks ago. That's right. Okay, before I close the stream, Lance already went. I will do that. Let me see if I can actually bring up those super chats on the stream. I took screenshots of every single one of them. Let me see here. I'm so glad you reminded me, Kowalski. Okay, it's not going to actually let me share that, which sucks. Oh, wait. No, maybe I can. Give me a second. You know what? I think I might be able to do this. Yeah, okay, that actually works. Okay, nice. Okay. I'm just going to go through the list here. I'm not going to spend too much time on these because these are from a couple of weeks ago, so I might be lost. They might be referencing specific topics that we talked about 2 weeks ago. So forgive me if they're wrong. Just make Ariana read them next week. I won't make her read them, but so okay, let me go through these here. There's not too many, but Lord of the Viltrumites, Mike, what do you think John Fetterman would be like now if he never had a stroke? Maybe normal, hopefully. Mr. Nobody, do you think that we will see a Democratic Party that actually represents the base in our lifetime? I hope so. Can't say for sure though, but I'm fighting to make that the case. Nintendo Gaming Channel, karmic U.S. fake Christian states are literally keeping their Peter Griffin IQ citizen in poverty, illiteracy making them unable to read Project 2025. Okay, let me go to the next one here. Bring in that one. Remove the last one. Okay. Ryan Chan says, is Summer Lee the most underrated in terms of progressives? She just endorsed challenger Chris Rabb and is going to campaign with Abdul and Hassan. She is 100% the most underrated, for sure. Mr. Nobody, I am very concerned about California having a MAGA governor. Who do you think the best choice on the ballot is? And should more Democrats drop out? So, yeah, you could tell this is now a dated comment. I apologize for getting to it because Eric Swalwell is out and Tom Steyer is the clear favorite to win. He's not my favorite. I don't really have a favorite. They all kind of suck. But seems like it's going to be him. V-Man, I identify as Puerto Rican despite being born in New York because in Puerto Rico, because there is a saying, I'd be Puerto Rican if I was born on the moon. I love that. That's a beautiful sentiment. Okay, let me go to the next one. You know what? I should be deleting these screenshots as I... Well, actually, I don't want to end up deleting one I haven't read, so I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. Awesome to see Kevin Logan on here. I first found his content a decade ago when he did his excellent Descent of Manosphere series. Sir Gerbil says Canada had their very own hog trucker convoy. I remember that. V-Man says Throughway Politics has set the left back decades. Oh, Third Way. Yeah. No, I agree with you. We were probably talking about Hassan that week, I would imagine. Next one is Cosmere Dragon says, John Idarola, host of Damage Report, insists we refer to former Congresswoman as just Marjorie Greene to not confuse her with the popular card game. I like that idea. That's smart. Anupam says, did you see Artemis 2 launch? It was so cool. I thought it was fucking awesome. I loved it. Not really Rachel Atwood. Oh, hey, Rachel. Nice to see you. I'm sorry I missed this. Much love to the Birmingham Rodents. Let's see. Next one here. I should have numbered these, but I'm doing okay at keeping track. A cartoon says, oh, hang on. Let me close. I got too many windows open. Give me 1 second. Cartoon says PS5 price went up. Back then, prices would decrease. I remember those days. Back in my day, game consoles would get cheaper. Octowolf says going to be in NYC at the end of May and beginning of June. Also, it can't stop playing Crimson Desert. It's super fun. I'm also playing Expedition 33. Another person playing Expedition 33. Cartoon says, thoughts on Vince Vaughn, comments calling out late night shows being too political, and did you hear of the NBA who got fired for being homophobic? So I actually, if I'm remembering correctly, we talked about this at the end of that episode. I can't remember. I feel like we talked about this. So maybe Cartoon sent this before we actually addressed this. I cannot speak coherently and competently about the NBA without anybody else here, as you all know. So I will not try to avoid embarrassing myself. Not really Rachel Atwood sends another chat. Wes was designed in a lab to make Pete seem normal. I think that's a reference to Wes Moore and Pete Buttigieg. V-Man says slogans must have sound policy behind them. In Puerto Rico, the Independence Party has the slogan Patria Nueva, New Homeland, but it backs with Medicare for all, ending tax incentives for outside. I love that. Also, V-Man says renationalizing the electrical grid, going all in on green energy, investing in infrastructure, bringing back the diaspora, reducing need on Fed funding by foster local industries and status assembly. I actually think that's awesome. I love that. Thanks for sharing that, V-Man. Is this the same one? No, okay. Didn't read this one yet. V-Man says, as a democratic process to address the status issue. Okay, continuation of the other one. Thank you, V-Man. But why male models? Yeah, this is one of those where I have no idea what this was in reference to. I'm sorry, Tropical Ding Dong. I don't know if you remember either, but 2 weeks later, I don't remember. Another one from Tropical. Are you serious? I just told you that a moment ago. The above 2 super chats are to be read in Zoolander voice. Okay. I'm not going to read it in Zoolander voice, but I appreciate you, Tropical Ding Dong. Rachel Atwood says Azerbaijan, ethnically cleansed, an Armenian enclave. Someone with MR hired Sarah Palin on Cameo for FTV. No shit, I didn't see that. A Day and Forever. Mike, you, David, and Kyle have shaped my politics for 10 years, and I'm running for the South Carolina House. I can't promote my candidacy because I paid for this with my own money. Be back with Act Blue money and my name. So that's fucking incredible. That's so cool. I'm so sorry that I missed this when you announced this, but that's really cool. Definitely keep us up to date on this so we can follow your campaign. A Day and Forever. Okay, don't have too many more. Okay, same one, I think. Nope, okay. That's the same one. Let me bring in the next one. I think it's this one. Nope. No, I'm right. It is this one. Okay, so Tigwick sent $50 Canadian. Tigwick, thank you so much. Always sending in these big-ass super chats. I really appreciate you. Great discussion tonight with the folks from across the pond. That was a really fun episode. If you guys haven't seen the episode that we did with Kevin Logan and MTG, not so MTG. Oh, I forgot her screen name. God damn it. But it's Magic the Gathering. It was so much fun though. Like 2 British leftists. That was such a fun episode. So go check it out if you missed it. Tamor from the 5 says, love seeing Helena and the whole Navarra crew. Yeah, she was Helena from Navarra. No Justice MTG. Thank you, Marigold. I was blanking on her screen name. Kevin is also part of the Turn Left Media with Curtis Daly, another good UK left media platform. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I'll check out the Curtis Daly or the Turn Left Media. Okay, I'll check them out. ABS said because AOC said she would put a ban on all weapons to Israel, do you think this means she's seriously considering a presidential run for 2028? Possibly. I think it also could be her trying to make sure she is more aligned with DSA in New York. But either way, I'm not sure what her motivations are, but I'm glad that she did make that change because that was a necessary change. Okay. Dooge327 says, just wanted to call out Ann Could, president of PSU, for being a piece of human trash to protesters and over her attempts to cut programs at PSU. Yeah, PSU has a track record of having complete dog shit presidents. So, yeah, shout out to these shitty presidents who don't give a shit about their students. Not really. Rachel Atwood says, wishing Ariana a belated joyous Nowruz. Coda says, when Pam got her pink slip, she was hoping it was an April Fool's joke. Also, losing Iran will cause our country to break apart like the Soviet Union. Yeah, so we did this episode when Pam Bondi was fired. That's crazy. 2 weeks feels like a year ago. Oh, okay, that's the same one. If I bring in the same one, it just like cuts to my face. Let me remove. Hang on, give me 1 second. So there we go. Okay. Sinister Intelligence. The mission to the moon is the only good thing going on now. Kowalski says, Americans will always do the right thing after exhausting all other options. Unfortunately, our leaders forgot what we did, so we are stuck in a bit of a Middle East war loop. Yeah. Old Man in Philly says, thanks for another great panel tonight. I hope your spring is awesome. Mine's going to be spent planning the wedding on 7-Eleven. If you're in Philly, hey, again, congratulations, Philly. That's awesome. And this is the last block of screenshots that I have. Excuse me. My throat is getting dry from talking nonstop. When there's other people, it's not as bad. Coda says, also remember it was conservatives who didn't want to join World War II. Pearl Harbor was good for FDR because then conservatives couldn't fight back. And Jones City says, Kevin, I remember when you and Sargon debated. Love ya. Oh, I didn't know that Kevin debated Sargon of Akkad. I want to watch that. Okay. That is the last of the super chats to my knowledge. We've got a couple more that came in. One from Kowalski and one from Matt. So Kowalski says, Mike, I appreciate your commitment to being the mature adult on Leftist Mafia. You are definitely the mom of the mob. We will get you a mug for Mother's Day. Thank you, Kowalski. I appreciate that. Parker says, this is the Binder. Sorry to hear about your loss, Matt Binder. Hope you see these super chats and look forward to your return. Take as much time as you need. Take care. Okay, folks, that does it. I'm going to wrap it up right there. Kowalski always coming in with the jokes. You all take care. I'm so sorry. I almost forgot. Again, thank you to Kowalski for reminding me to read those super chats. But you all have a wonderful day, and we'll all see you next Thursday.